Unfortunately, the bad news keeps rolling in for the Golden State Warriors. We got kind of a mixed bag yesterday, but after the loss to the Los Angeles Clippers last night, more bad things started coming out about your Dubs. We're going to discuss all of that on today's show. But before we do, there's more than one flaw with the Golden State Warriors. They are 10-3. They are still near the top of the Western Conference. But I want to hear from you guys. What do you guys think is the Warriors' biggest flaw through 13 games so far this season? I want to hear from Dub Nation in the comments section. What's going on, Dub Nation? You're watching Warriors Today by Chat Sports. I am your host, Tyler Smith, and unfortunately, the Warriors lose a heartbreaker to the Los Angeles Clippers last night, 102-99. They had a look to tie the game at the end. Gary Payton II unfortunately missed that three-point attempt. Stephen Curry was triple-teamed in that scenario. Got a good, clean look off, just couldn't hit it. And, the Warriors, they kind of dug their own grave last night, and that was really the bad news for Golden State, really, overall in this game. Golden State shot 9 of 19 from the free throw line against the Los Angeles Clippers. And in a game where you lose by 3, that's probably the difference. That is probably the difference in a game like that, as the Clippers, on the other hand, shoot 16 of 18 from the line. I mean, if Golden State even shoots mediocre from the line at best, and they go, 14 of 19, they potentially win this game. They potentially have it in overtime. And, we're not talking about this today. But we are. And, these guys are struggling here. Andrew Wiggins, he was 6 of 8. He did hit his last 2 from the line that were very consequential, and they really needed to hit those. But he came into that trip 4 of 6 from the line. And then Jonathan Kuminga can't hit the ocean if he had a beach ball. And he goes 1 for 4 from the line. Trey Jackson-Davis, 0 for 2. Brandon Pajemski. We'll talk more about pods later on in today's show, but, man, he gets fouled on a 3 in that fourth quarter. And they were critical shots, and he misses 2 out of 3 free throws. And bad night for Pachemski, and it's been a bad season overall for him so far. Draymond also goes 1 for 2 from the line. And I thought this tweet that I saw after the game was kind of funny because, I mean, with the Golden State Warriors roster we have right now, it's full of spacing, full of shooting on the outside, and these guys just can't hit them from 10 feet inside the arc. Interesting to me. Shout out my guy Austin GSW on Twitter. He just puts this clear and easy diagram of eyes on basket, ball up, elbow in, knees bent, and be square to the basket. Like, it's very simple. These are why should we be? I feel like I'm a school teacher right now telling my group of 4th graders, "You're in 4th grade. Behave. Hit your free throws. You're professionals." It just doesn't boil down to anything more than that. You guys have to be better. And Steve Kerr knows that, but he also mentioned on how the Clippers or new arena, the Intuit Dome, with their assembly hall looking wall behind the free throw line, did that have any effect on the Warriors' free throw struggles last night? No, it doesn't. These guys are used to this kind of stuff, but it's a great atmosphere. That's the main thing, because you want a great vibe in any building you play in, and this is a great vibe here. The new Clippers arena is very high tech, very state of the art, and the way that they have their seating set up, they have this massive steep way of seating, steep steps, and very high up, and it just looks like you're looking at a wall of people when you're staring and trying to shoot a free throw in the new Intuit Dome. But Steve Kerr said that didn't have any effect on the Golden State Warriors. I'm not going to say that is necessarily truthful or not. I mean, I'm sure he didn't ask every single player whether or not that had any sort of effect on him. It'll be interesting to see if maybe we look back at the end of the season and teams are shooting worse at that free throw line in Los Angeles rather to anywhere else. But to me, it just sounds like your guys have to be better, and Steve Kerr knows that. He said, "I think we entered the game dead last in free throws." Spoiler alert, they did. We also entered the game 10-2. They haven't hurt us until tonight. We've got to work on it, obviously. Our guys have to get in the gym and find their rhythm, find their confidence from the line. Yeah, you were right, Steve Kerr. You did come into this game dead last in free throw shooting across the NBA, and it hasn't been a problem just yet. But now it is a problem. You can't let free throws take away wins in this league when you need them. The Golden State Warriors have done what so far through 13 games? They've put out a ton of effort, and they really seem to be taking advantage of early season NBA where teams necessarily aren't playing the hardest defense. They aren't hitting shots at the highest clip. Golden State has kind of gone the other way and said, "Hey, we're going to take a bunch of wins early on in this season, try to find our identity in the process, and hopefully we win a bunch of games and have ourselves in a good spot like they do right now, second in the Western Conference." But you can't let free throws take away wins, because when you do, this is what happens. You get a 3 look from Gary Payton II. But what's the issue here? You see, look at Steph down below. He's pointing at Lindy Waters III. He wanted that pass to go to Lindy Waters III, who has already hit a big-time shot from that same exact spot back in the preseason against the Clippers. Lindy Waters III hit that game winner, if you guys don't remember, back in the first game of the preseason. Ball ends up in the hands of Gary Payton. You find yourself discombobulated, out of organization, and, you get up a shot that you don't want at the end of the day. Steph also took a really bad shot before this. Warriors were lucky to get an offensive rebound. But when you screw around and you don't hit your free throws, this game could have been wrapped up already. This happens, and you get a shot off that you didn't exactly want. So, Golden State, they're going to have to hit free throws if they want to win games in this league, because you can't leave points to the stripe and end up losing a three-point effort when you go 9-19 from the line. I want to hear from you guys. What do you guys think? How many free throws are going to be taken at Golden State Warriors practice today? Give me a number in the comments. It could be something absolutely outrageous. Get creative. Let me know how many free throws you think Golden State's going to take in practice today. We have more to talk about, more bad news, but first, I got to give a shout-out to our proud sponsor, Prize Picks. Prize Picks is America's #1 daily fantasy sports platform with over 10 million active members. And you can get started today with a free $50 in your account on Prize Picks when you use our promo code CLNS. Now, you have to place your first $5 entry to get that $50 in your account, but I'll tell you guys how you place that entry. All you guys got to do is pick a lineup of 2 to 6 player stat projections and just pick more or less. They have basketball, they have football, they got hockey, they got esports, they have it all. And on today's slate of games, I have a Taco Tuesday. And we're doing Taco J, Jason Tatum, to have more than 22.5 points. PrizePicks sometimes discounts player stat projections on Tuesday, and they give you a little bit easier of a chance to win some real money. Also have Jarrett Allen against the Boston Celtics to have more than 13.5 points. Celtics missing a little bit of an interior presence. I think he's going to feast down low. And then Kobe Brea, the sharpshooter from Kentucky. Give me more than 12.5 points against Lipscomb. You can tell my picks. You can fade my picks. Just make sure you do it at PrizePicks. PrizePicks.com/CLNS. Use that promo code CLNS to get $50 in your account when you place your first $5 entry. You don't even need to win to receive the $50. It's guaranteed. PrizePicks. Run your game. All right, so we do have more bad news rolling in from the loss against the Los Angeles Clippers. It just wasn't a good all-around game for Golden State. It seems like the Clippers are Golden State's kryptonite, and honestly, it seems like basketball might be this guy's kryptonite. Man, Brandon Podziemski, does he stink? Is he not good? Did I let myself get brainwashed into thinking that this guy wasn't suitable to be traded for a Paul George or a Lauri Markkanen? And I understand. I'm gonna mention it again in a second, but I want to give him the benefit of the doubt. He's been dealing with some health issues, but he's on the court and he's playing big time minutes. He's playing big time minutes in big time moments. Like, he was in there for a good stretch of the fourth quarter, up until there were about 9 or 8 minutes left in, and Stephen Curry was on the bench. They were trusting Brandon Podziemski to run this offense and hopefully keep the Clippers at bay and keep it close enough so Stephen Curry can come in and kind of take the rest of the game to himself and get the win. But they couldn't do that. Brandon Podziemski was bad. He had 1 point. Remember I said he missed those 2 key free throws. He wasn't even taking shots when the opportunity was given to him. He shot 0 for 2 from three-point range. He just wasn't good last night, and he really hasn't been good all season long. I cannot believe that I was even swayed to think that this guy was untouchable from the Golden State Warriors front office. The fact that they didn't want to give him up for Lauri Markkanen or a Paul George is absolutely insane. And I can't believe that whether it was Joe Lacob's decision or Mike Dunleavy's decision. I don't know. But I have some questions about the talent evaluations in the Golden State front office if they thought this guy was more valuable to their team than bringing in a guy like Paul George or Lauri Markkanen. But I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. Like, Brandon Podziemski, the effort is always there. He crashes the offensive glass. He puts his body on the line. He takes charges. He gets in the face of defenders. He does give his best effort night in and night out. But at some point, like, there has to be some sort of statistical production for this team. Has to be some sort of scoring output. Brandon Podziemski doesn't score at all. What does he do well on offense besides pass the ball when somebody's cutting? Like, he's a flashy passer. That's awesome. But too many times last night, I saw Brandon Podziemski just bring the ball up, give the ball to somebody on the wing, and he watches the rest of the possession. He's a non-factor on offense. Defenses don't respect him scoring the basketball. I just don't know. But he's had some health issues. He broke his nose. He obviously had that illness that made him miss a game earlier this season, and he's been fighting through fatigue ever since. But I don't know, man. Something's got to give eventually. I want to give him the benefit of the doubt, and I want him to succeed because, the Warriors are missing a major piece right now, and that's DeAnthony Melton. DeAnthony Melton's still unfortunately out for this team, and there's still no timetable on his return. It's unfortunate that Brandon Podziemski has to be in this lineup because DeAnthony Melton's not available. DeAnthony Melton basically does what Brandon Podziemski's being asked to do at a much better level. He's not necessarily as gifted of a passer, but he scores the ball better, shoots the ball more efficiently from outside, better point of attack defender, are the same or if not a better rebounder. Like, and he could run the offense. He could bring the ball up the floor. Steve Kerr called the lineup with DeAnthony Melton the perfect mix, and the Golden State Warriors are now suffering because he's not in the lineup. Here's what Steve Kerr had to say about Melton because he's been so fond of him so far this year. He said DeAnthony does a little bit of everything. On-ball defense, rebounding, three-point shooting, playmaking. He's obviously a really important player for us and the guy who we envisioned, and he has done a good job as a starting two guard. So it's a concern for sure to be without him. I agree. You really need DeAnthony Melton back ASAP. You can run so many great lineups with Stephen Curry and DeAnthony Melton on the floor, where DeAnthony Melton can bring the ball up and Stephen Curry can work off ball, or vice versa. And Melton can also guard the other team's best guard. Like, there is so many benefits to having him out on the floor for Golden State. They really need him back sooner rather than later. It seems like he's going to be out until at least into December. So not great news there as well. Hopefully we get an update on him sometime this week. But another issue Golden State still has is in the front court. Remember what I talked about before this game and what happened in the first time they played the Clippers? This guy dominated. Ivica Zubac, he dominated again. Played 36 minutes for the Clippers. I wonder why. They kept him out there for the entire game because they didn't really have a matchup. At least Golden State did not have a matchup that they could put up against him. 17 rebounds. Again, you're getting bullied on the glass. And honestly, you're 6'10", you're whatever, 6'9", 6'10", whatever you are, you should be able to at least match up with them, TJD. You got to get bigger, man. It's time's running out. Like, how are you 6'10", you can't rebound? I don't understand. He got to steal, he got to block. He was fine defensively. He was efficient as far as being a pick-and-roll threat. But at the end of the day, what Golden State has been able to do is maximize possessions and gain a ton more possessions, get up more shots than their opponent. They didn't do that last night against the Clippers. They didn't get up more threes against Los Angeles last night, and a big reason why is because they struggled on the glass. Trey Jackson-Davis couldn't match up with Ivica Zubac, and honestly, neither could Draymond Green to an extent. He did his best in those closing minutes, but still, Golden State was surrendering possessions, surrendering offensive rebounds to Los Angeles. And Draymond was blunt about how he performed last night. He said, I sucked tonight. Way too many turnovers, too many missed bunnies. I just sucked. But overall, like, he's been fine. He did have 6 turnovers last night. Those have to come down. But, I mean, it's a very Draymond Green stat line last night. 9 points, 9 rebounds, 7 assists. Unfortunately, he had a wide open look down the stretch with about a minute and a half left and Golden State down 5. He had a wide open 3 at the top of the key, and he was already 2 of 3 on the game. But, man, I was very surprised that Draymond Green decided not to take that attempt, as he's been so efficient from three-point range this season. He's been awesome, though. Fantastic on the defensive end. He can switch. He's a true leader of this team, and his energy feeds off to the rest of the Golden State Warriors. And I think his energy needs to feed off to more of the rest of the Golden State Warriors. What do you guys think? Who must step up the most for Golden State? I feel like if you had to ask me, or if I left it unsaid, you guys would think I'd say Brandon Podziemski, and you guys would probably be right, as he was deemed untouchable by the Warriors front office. Who has to step up the most for Golden State? Let me know down in the comments section. And also, give me a follow on Twitter as well, at Smitty@CS. I'm posting the Golden State Warriors news before we even get a video on that platform over there. So give me a follow at Smitty@CS, and make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel. Trying to hit 70,000 subscribers here at Warriors Today. Your #1 source for Golden State Warriors news and rumors all season long. So give us a subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one. Let's go Dubs.